and welcome back for another episode where we're going to talk about our favorite Disney ducks. Today we're talking safety, specifically an old edutainment short all about fire safety. Donald's Fire Survival Plan is a cartoon from 1965 that attempted to prepare audiences in the event of a fire-related emergency at home. We're greeted initially by Walt Disney himself, where he gives us a short introduction detailing statistics on how common house fires are. We then pan from him to a television screen where we see Donald Duck lounging in an armchair in his home. As he sits there engrossed in a book, his nephews are just a few feet away drawing up an evacuation plan with crayon. Their teacher has assigned the boys with the task of coming up with a plan in case of a fire, much to Donald's annoyance. Donald brushes off the trio's concern. How likely is a house fire anyway? The boys go on to explain the necessity of having two escape routes, a rendezvous point for everyone in the home to meet up at outside, and even an alarm for those in the house to have in the event a fire breaks out and the whole house needs to be alerted. Donald balks at his paranoid nephews and sends them away, wherein he promptly nods off and gets quite the talking to by his inner voice. His inner voice, or as he calls himself, common sense, gives Donald a wake-up call. Having a fire take you by surprise can be disastrous, and we see Donald literally keel over a few times as common sense shows him the many different ways one could be killed by a house fire. It's not just the flames, duck fans. The smoke caused by fire is more likely to do fatal damage than the fire itself. His brain brimming with images of all those potential deaths, Donald begins to think maybe he should take some precautions, but common sense knows how to really drive the point home. If all Donald had to worry about was himself, that would be one thing, but he is responsible for 3 little ducklings, and the very idea of any harm coming to his boys is enough to get Donald up out of his nap and off to make some quick renovations to his house. He puts in a collapsible ladder from the 2nd floor, makes sure the windows have easily removable screens for quick exits, and has a ladder on hand in the garage for getting the triplets out of their 2nd-story bedroom safely. The final note on preparation dates the cartoon more than anything else. Common sense tells Donald that after he makes sure his family is safe and sound outside of the burning building, they were to make their way to a fire department call box, or a neighbor's phone, and call the fire department. As far as I'm aware, these public call boxes are no longer in use, at least not in most places. Now, it should be noted that what I've just described was from the original 1965 Fire Survival Plan cartoon. This short was revised in the 1980s with a completely different live-action introduction, and even a few short scenes played out by human versions of Donald, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. As this is a whole new era, there is new technology to be made aware of. This version adds to the original the importance of installing fire alarms, the implementation of the EDIF system, or exit drills in the home. Not something I'm familiar with, but I was born in the 80s, a little too young to know much about fire safety. And the now common stop, drop, and roll maneuver in case of catching fire. I'd like to think if this short was again updated for the current age, we'd add notes such as making sure security windows and doors have quick release buttons, prompts, or codes, install carbon monoxide detectors to alert sleeping family members of smoke before the fire even begins to spread, maybe even suggest purchasing fire extinguishers for every room in the house. I think something like this would fit in well as a short for kids on the Disney Junior channel, or even as a tablet app. I feel fire safety isn't talked about much anymore, and that should be rectified. As we can see, Donald Duck is ready and willing to help. That's it for now, Duck fans. See you next time.